Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Saga, where we explore all those stories beyond the Skywalker saga, books, comics, games. I am here with Hannah Burr. How are you, Hannah?
I'm doing well, and how are you?
I am doing great. We are continuing and finishing the basically the second series that was released of Darth Vader. We covered the first series, which was between episode 4 and 5. This series has gone back to the beginning of Darth Vader, right after episode 3. We covered the first 3 volumes, and we're finishing now with Fortress Vader. Written by Charles Soule. This came out back in January of 2019. And this collects issues 19 and finishes through 25. I mean, look, Charles Soule is easily one of the best comic writers out there. He's got his hand in a lot of Star Wars stuff right now. He's obviously a big part of the High Republic novelizations and stuff like that. So, but he does do comics still. So anyway, Vader. Overall, how did you feel about this book?
This last one that we read,
Just this last one, yes.
I I mean, I liked it, but I also liked it because of its connection to Rise of the Red Blade. And I am ashamed because I did read this before and it did not connect to me, the characters, until we get to the epilogue of Rise of the Red Blade, like halfway through the epilogue. But it's also such a heartbreaking story. And it's
Yes.
like we really see Vader's anguish, especially when he's building his fortress. And then we see how far he will go, even with his own inquisitors. And the fact that they chose to make a story out of these two inquisitors in Rise of the Red Blade is insane.
Yes.
I won't give more spoilers than that, but wow.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
seeing him think the bigger picture of I'll build my inquisitor force and just take in all of the force sensitive children, babies, instead of, which I mean, we saw that in Bad Batch. So
Yes.
it's sad. It's a sad read, but unfortunately, we're in a sad part of time in the
Yes.
Skywalker timeline. What did you think?
I loved it. I'm a huge fan of this series. I think, it's interesting because, again, this was a time period we hadn't seen. We obviously knew Darth Vader and know who he is, but I was really drawn into why he wanted to build this fortress on Mustafar, of all
Right.
places. I
Oh
get
my
it that
god.
he was somewhat created there, but he had a bigger reason. And this isn't really spoiling anything, but the big reason is that it's there's a big force presence on Mustafar.
Yeah, there absolutely is. And I mean, if you also just think about the dark side of the force, you're supposed to feed on your anguish, you're supposed to feed on your anger, and as far as he's aware, that's where he killed Padme. And that's where
Yes,
his brother abandoned him.
yes, that's true. That's true.
So I think it's a combination of the two, and it just, it's gasoline and propane fueling each other, or gasoline and fire just fueling each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as you kind of learn later on as well, and we've already seen this as well in the Vader. If anybody's familiar with the Vader game, the virtual reality game,
Oh.
it's all about Vader and the fortress there. It takes place years later after this, though. But you do find that, I mean, he is, which I'm just fascinated by. He is still trying to find a way to bring Padme back.
He never gave up.
Never
I
gave
truly
up.
believe he never gave up. And then when he found out that he had a kid, he
Exactly.
then shifted his focus. He's like, well, if I can't bring Padme back, then I will reclaim my family.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, he did have thoughts of ruling the galaxy still with his son and all that stuff until his son brought him back. But Vader is never fully Vader. I mean, he was trying to bring Padme back, but he was also trying at the same time to fully kill Anakin, and he just never could do it. So that's really been interesting about seeing this, as he kind of becomes Vader more, because we learned, and if you go back and listen to our previous Beyond the Sagas on this series, he had to go find a new saber. He had to go find a crystal that he could bleed. He had, this whole, even this early on, like, he's not in great spirits with Palpatine. Palpatine's constantly pushing him and testing him, and Vader didn't really want to be in charge of these Inquisitors, really, but he kind of had to, and he definitely, there's a shaping going on with his character still, even though Vader is Vader, but he's an ever evolving character, and that's partly why I think he's still one of the most, if not the most popular character in all of Star Wars.
Well, he's very complex. I mean, a lot of people think straight, oh, he's good, evil. He's evil, and then he turns good. I think I truly believe that in the back of Vader's mind, when he was under Palpatine, he was thinking at some point he's going to teach me about long life.
Correct.
At some point, he's going to teach me. And then I think one of the deciding factors, and obviously we don't know this, but I headcanon, if you will, do believe that when he's watching Luke die,
right,
he's like, I'm going to start tearing up. I'm losing the last bit of Padme.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I have a daughter, but as far as I know, this is my last bit of Padme. He was never going to teach me how to bring someone back.
That's true.
And I think that was one of the things that made him go, yeah, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Because the deal he made was, I will do anything to save Padme.
That's right.
And so I think in his mind, he's like, well, technically I could still save Padme because Padme's in Luke. Padme's in his sister, who he doesn't know who. But I think that was the moment when he was like, yeah, that's...
yeah, and the biggest thing with the fortress, he does feel like he can use that power to somehow reach Padme and bring her back, or at least connect with her again. I mean, it is amazing to think that is still a driving force for him.
Yeah. And like, honestly, if he just, and Obi-Wan knew, but Obi-Wan was choosing to be ignorant. But if Anakin just told Obi-Wan what was going on, Obi-Wan could have helped him out so much.
I know.
And he still would be a Jedi Master. You know what I mean? Like, Obi-Wan would cover for him because Obi-Wan was in the same boat.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Like, he knows how he feels. So anyway, I know we're getting off the topic of.
No, and I think another part of this story that was pretty interesting was this. We get kind of a big history lesson with this Darth Momin.
Mm-hmm.
Vader is given this guy's mask, and it still has a lot of dark side energy on it. And with, like, again, the power of what's on Mustafar, it just kind of creates this situation where we get. And Momin, I'm not going to spoil too much about it, but it's like he's popped up in a lot of different things right now. He's been mentioned in the Dr. Aphra comics. He's been mentioned in Hidden Empire and Crimson Reign, which were kind of around the Kira side of stuff. And then he's mentioned in Shadow of the Sith, which is a massive book that we both really enjoyed. You know, I mean, this guy he's got a long legacy, and he was around at a time where we want to see more stories, which was 1,000 years before episode 1. So
speaking of minor characters, that should be
exactly right.
So that was, if you haven't listened to it yet, that's a callback to our most recent episode based on the date that this has been released of Inside the Force.
That's exactly right. That episode is out. That's right. So, you know, it's there's a lot of story here. You know, like you mentioned, it kind of shifts from what happens with the Inquisitors into like the building of the fortress and things like that. So there's a lot that happens, a lot that they wrapped up in these last 6 issues. But so overall now with these, you know, not just this, but maybe the overall impact you feel like of this comic series of Vader. What do you think?
Are they needed? Not necessarily, but I think they help us see Vader in a completely different light. Not that I'm saying that we should give him any excuses for what he's done, but it helps provide sympathy. It helps us understand that Darth Vader isn't just an evil guy in a black suit with a really menacing breathing pattern.
Right.
There's a lot going on. And Anakin's still in there. He's not fully gone.
That's definitely true. Definitely true. It's hard to say for me in a way. I feel like it's hard to say anything with Vader is not impactful.
Right.
I you know, yeah, it's tough. Because, you know, now that we've gotten so much more of Anakin, you know, with the prequels, obviously, but then also with the Clone Wars and now with Ahsoka, you know, Hayden is more involved now with the whole back with being Vader and all that stuff. It's like, you know, there's more of that humanity part of him with Anakin now than ever before, you know, like before the prequels, it was just this, you know, this dark hooded masked guy, and you just thought he was this big bad villain, and
yeah.
But there's a lot more to him now, and I definitely enjoy stories of Vader. Yeah, it's interesting to know how, like you said, a very complex character, very complex person. And think about it, it's a love story. The he just wants the love of his life back.
Yeah.
I mean, can't get much better than that, right? So how do you rate this first? How do you rate this book?
I would probably have to give it a 3.5. Like, it's good, but it's not like, oh yeah.
I think it's oh yeah. I'm going
not
4.
Kool-Aid, oh yeah.
I'm going 4.
You're going 4.
I'm going 4 for this one. So what about the whole series? What would you give the whole series?
I'd probably give the whole series a 4.
Whole series of 4. I'll probably give it a 4. I was thinking 4.5, but that's really high. So
it's not Dark Disciple level.
Well, no, Dark Disciple's a 5 in my book.
I don't think I'll ever rate anything a 5. But
you wouldn't give Dark Disciple a 5? Oh my God,
because
Dark
that means it's perfection.
I don't think what's wrong with it. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it.
I don't believe in perfection, Dave.
Oh, it's super good. Yeah, overall this is a 4. This is really, really good.
Yeah.
4 is a pretty good grade. So, but yeah, all right. So there you go. All 4 Beyond the Sagas are there if you want to go back and kind of catch up with all these and hear our non-spoiler reviews and keep coming back here for more. We're going to keep finishing out all the comics that take place, around the original trilogy and the Star Wars and Vader comics there. We got some other ones we're going to do. And then, of course, we're hitting some of the novels still. So lots of Star Wars to cover still, Hannah. Lots.
We
still got to get back to High Republic as well. Some point, yes. But thanks, everybody, for joining us. Like I said, go to youtube.com/Inside the Force for not only Beyond the Saga, but you got some council sessions and some Dark Knowledges and Masters of the Order on there. And of course, our weekly episodes of Inside the Force are on there as well. But you can catch all those episodes on any podcast feed out there. So thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. We'll see everybody next time. Take care. May the Force be with you.